Serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 196 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of April 26th through May 2nd, 2021. My name's Tim Beeman.
My name's Ray Morgan.
And we're opening the recipe box. We are recording this episode of The Man Who Ate the Town in the Less Desirable Studio South. We call that my house. We are practicing social distancing and using Zoom, sponsored by Bull's Tavern here in Winston-Salem. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcatchers like Apple Podcast, Stitcher, or Spotify, or anything like that, we'd appreciate a like, a follow, a rating, whatever they allow you to do. It would help us tremendously. And if you're listening to us on the Triad Podcast Network, welcome and thank you. This episode of The Man Who Ate the Town is brought to you by Washington Perkin Provision Company, located 301 West 4th Street. You'll find a little bit of everything at the Perk, a chip corner, a deli to get your sandwich on the go, local fruits, veggies, meats, and dairy, Bingo Bango sodas, Wolfie's custard, a wall of beer and wine, and much more. And don't forget that they are a coffee shop as well, so you can stop in, grab your morning cup, and go on. They do all the fancy drinks and just cups of coffee. So they have all you need. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, but it's not quite a grocery store. On Facebook, they're Washington Perk, or at Washington Perk _DTWS on Instagram. So still, almost half the restaurants on my side of the list are advertising that they're hiring for many, if not all, positions. There is a drought for quality help right now, as I mentioned the last few weeks. I just want to reiterate that if you need a job and you can do anything associated with restaurants, there's a job out there waiting for you. I guarantee it. You can't say
your favorite restaurant and go.
Yeah, you can't say you can't find work. That's for sure. Right now, you may not be able to find it for $16 an hour, but that unemployment will dry up soon. So get your job now. So something we've talked about the last couple of weeks, I can confirm that Monterey Mexican restaurant is indeed gone.
Oh, man, that's sad.
There is a Linville team partner sign up in the window. So it's already available. Now, word has it that
with Linville team on it, there ain't going to be much long. It won't be long for that'll be somebody in that space.
Right.
They're quick about it.
And, well, maybe because rent has shot up there and is out of the league of what Monterey could or wanted to pay. I hope that they do find another place to move into because, that's what happened to Hong Kong King. So is TJ's Deli next? Is Scrimp Shack next? Is Times Square Pizza next? So
and we've seen this every once in a while with larger shopping centers that'll jack the rates up and then try to lure in a national firm to take one of those local spots.
Yeah.
Personally, I find that a little frustrating and offensive, but I understand why they're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope they find another place to move into. And by that, I mean someplace close that I can get to easily. Something not too far from where they were. Seriously, I hate that they're gone. I love their quesadilla Monterey. And that salsa, again, was best in town. So good luck, Monterey, and hope to see you again soon.
And that was just such a go-to place. When I was playing softball, the proximity of that particular restaurant to Washington Park, you're talking, half a mile?
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times after games we're like, Monterey, come on, let's go. And whether you were just getting some extra chips and salsa and some water after the game or you wanted to have a beer, it didn't matter. It was a great place to go. They had a great atmosphere, good service. So I'm with you. I hope they're able to find another place really close.
Yeah. So that I'm not the praying type, and I don't do that. But Joey Carell, who will be over the Joey Carell burger thing in Roar when it comes, is a little under the weather. And by a little under the weather, I mean he's not doing well at all. It's, I don't know how much is public knowledge. I'm not going to go into any of the details that was given to me, but I will say that he is in need of your thoughts and positive vibes. And if you are one, and I know Ray is, because he's a pastor and all, if you are the praying type, probably need to send some good vibes his way. So
We can certainly do that.
yeah.
Truth of the matter is, we all need some prayer at some point in life.
So this week, from April 23rd all the way until Sunday, May 2nd, is Black Restaurant Week Carolinas. You can visit blackrestaurantweeks.com for more information. They have a pretty cool bingo card that you can download and win stuff. If you need a directory of black-owned restaurants in Winston-Salem, you can check my website using the search box and searching by black-owned. It gives you a detailed list that I went through this morning and edited. So you can do that, and I'll also include it on the show notes on that website when I finish this later today. So get out there and find some of these fantastic eateries around town and grab you some food. Support the owners, support the community, and play some bingo. Again, you do it. You do it on. You take care of it on Instagram by using hashtags, whatever they say to use on there. And I don't know what the prizes are, but they said you can win stuff. So, hey, it could be just an attaboy or a pat on the back or, here's a pencil. I don't know, but just it's fun to play, right?
Well, we've got some great black-owned restaurants in Winston-Salem that they are absolutely should be on your list of folks to go see, not because they're black restaurants, but because they're good restaurants.
Right. So, we can always talk about Taste of the Triad. Munchbox, which your wife was a fan of when she was cleaning house. I am a fan of them. They're sweet people. Buy good coffee. Papa Lee's, the new restaurant where Zesto used to be.
Yes.
Hot Dog City. There's just a ton. So go have some. Support the local owners. Athena Greek Taverna has changed their hours and services, and while I can see the hour changes, I don't see the service changes. I don't know what they are. Hey, you see you changed your service. What service? You have food, right? That's all I need to know. I hate the way that Facebook handles stuff like that, but it just says they've updated their services. Okay.
By that, they just mean the hours.
Yeah, well, there was two. There were two different. There was has updated their hours and has updated their services. Maybe it's like, you can eat indoors now or something like that, but I still saw nothing that indicated what the changes were. So, here's
Thanks, Facebook.
Yeah. Arigato Japanese restaurant was and is still closed today as they waited for a COVID test result. They've done that a lot over there. Maybe their employees should get vaccinated and be more aware of who they're hanging out with. It seems like every month they're like, oh, we're closed waiting on this COVID test. The test must have come back negative because they are opening back up tomorrow, but they have been closed. And if you planned on going there today, don't. Also, while I'm thinking of it, don't go to Hakkachow today either. Hakkachow has announced that they are closing on Mondays from now on. They have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into being open every day for the past 7 years, but they said that just wasn't possible mentally or physically any longer. So taking Mondays for themselves is a logical step, and I'm sure staffing has a great deal to do with that as well.
Yeah.
So, Arigato, I said that. Bar Pina has reopened and has shown off their new drink specials menu on their Facebook page. People have been waiting for this one because they're one of the few rooftop bars in town. And I think they could have opened before now because most of it is outside, right? So why they didn't already, I don't know. It could be a staffing thing. It could just be Bo didn't feel like worrying about that right then, because I know he was getting Tate's ready to open back up. So anyway, yay to Bo Tate and his staff over at Bar Pina. Mojito Latin Soul Food is your go-to Cuban and Latin-inspired restaurant. The good news is they are now open in their dining room as well. The bad news is they had to suspend a lot of the tuning fork provision truck part because of the staffing issues. They need all the hands they can on deck, which I'm sure is also costing them money to have that closed. But the Cubano sandwich, the Cuban sandwich, is hands down the best sandwich in town to me. All the flavors punch you in the tongue, and the sandwich is made in the tradition that Michael grew up with. You know the Mojito Burger will be on the burger tour. Mojito Latin Soul Food does reservations. They do takeout. They have large outdoor patio and do deliveries to surrounding businesses like Fiddlin' Fish, Broad Branch, and Wiseman. And now that Bar Pina is back open, perhaps they will deliver there too. I haven't heard from Michael on that one yet. Check them out on their Facebook page and at MojitoLatinSoulFood.com. Baked Just So is having Meadowlark Spirit Day today. If you're out in the Robin Hood Village or near their Louisville location, consider stopping and purchasing from them, as portions of all of today's sales will go to Meadowlark School. Stacy is awesome, and this is just one way that shows how awesome she is. The fact that her treats are dreamy is also a bonus. So she does really great work. I do recommend highly the oatmeal pies. They are fantastic. I have mentioned more than once that Butcher and Bull said that they were opening sometime in April. Well, they have 4 more days, or 5 if you count the day, for an April opening. They have been posting pictures of food and bevies with the word will, as in we will have. That all, to me, sounds future tense. So, TikTok, folks, if you want that April opening, time is ticking away.
Makes you wonder if they maybe spoke too soon.
Well, I mean, I know they're talking about having outdoor seating as well, which is going to be odd, but because I don't
say there's not really a whole lot of outdoor seating space.
No,
there.
It has to be along the sidewalk, I guess, because the sidewalk's pretty wide, but still.
Yeah.
Still. City Beverage will be having a tent sale this Saturday, May the 1st.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
those are always good.
Yes, and I have the email that was sent, and these purchases will be done online only. The list of sale items, the beer and wine, will be emailed out Friday if you're on their mailing list. If not, you need to go to citybeverage.com and sign up for their mailing list. And the sale will go live on their website Saturday morning, May 1st at 9 a.m. After you have placed your order online and paid, they will email or call you the following week when your order will be available for pickup. And for anyone who wants to call that to shop and place an order, they will be happy to help you out as well. They can't guarantee inventory over the phone, however. During the sale, they'll have hundreds of cases of wine marked down as low as 60% off. Take an additional 10% off when you purchase by the case. We will also have lots of craft beer marked down around 50% off regular price. The tent sale is an event without equal, they say. The sale starts at 9 a.m. and runs until Sunday, May 2nd. This sale is the perfect time to buy for weddings and for parties and such. So again, citybeverage.com. Sign up for their mailing list. Also, you can order that morning. They are located 915 Burke Street in the West End side of downtown. So go in.
They do a sale like that. It's
Yeah.
It's exactly right. If you've got a big party coming up,
Yep.
man, stock up.
Yep. And City Beverage too is where you can, like now that parties are picking back up, you can get your kegs from them.
Mm-hmm. Been around for a long time, have a great reputation, fantastic service. You need something, they will figure out how to get it to you.
Right. Camino Real Mexican restaurant now has online ordering for your takeout needs. You can do that at elcaminoreal01.com. I think they were only call by phone or just go by there and wait. So now you can do that via the interwebs, and I believe they're doing dine-in now too.
I wonder if that's for all of the locations or just the one in Winston.
I think it's the one in Winston, which is way out in BFE for me. It is.
Yeah. It's good. It is really good. Very authentic type Mexican, and very inexpensive. Like their lunch specials are like $4 or $5. I mean, it's just ridiculous how cheap they are.
Cool.
But you're right. It's way on out Ronaldo.
Yeah, way out there, almost Old Town.
Yeah, actually, I think you could call that Old Town.
Yeah. Well, it's the old side of town, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great part of town. It's just not the part that you tend to run in.
Right. Our buddy Brian Ricciardi over at Dom's is looking for a front of house manager, and he's pretty much detailed what he's looking for specifically on the Facebook page. So check that out. I have sent a message to him asking if they've opened back indoors yet, because I'm not seeing that.
I mean, we've known Brian for a long time now.
Yeah.
Great guy. I mean, seriously, if you're looking for somebody to work for, he would be the guy.
Yeah. He says he's not putting up with that. I think he meant half glass empty, but he said half glass full, glass half full. But he wants positive attitudes and working with public and not being adverse to critique. So be able to work and be subordinate to your employer. I don't know what happened. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
I never went away.
Okay. I didn't either. It just like
the whole thing just kind of locked up.
Yeah. Huh.
Thanks, Zoom.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So he's pretty much half glass, glass half full kind of guy, and wants be subordinate to the employer, but still take charge and don't wait on somebody to tell you what to do. Just do it.
Yeah.
That's what most business people want you to do. So, Diamondback Grill, our official sponsor, is casual dining located in the heart of Buena Vista in Winston-Salem. It is a fantastic family-owned farm-to-fork restaurant that sources most of its ingredients from local farmers. Try one of their themed menu specials. Each day is a different theme. Stephanie and I went there Saturday, and it was really busy, which was a good thing to see. We had our favorite limp crab hush puppies as an appetizer. Stephanie had the pulled beef quesadilla, and I had that delicious sloppy Joe that I've had before. That's some great stuff. It's a great sandwich, and I say sandwich in the tradition that it's meat and bread and stuff, but it's open face, and you certainly don't want to try to pick that up and eat it.
Not unless you want to wear that.
Yeah, you're gonna wear it like last summer's fashions. That's what you're going to wear it like. It's truly a sloppy Joe. So,
I love the fact that they take, just like the most common of recipes, a sloppy Joe,
yeah,
and turn it into something that you're like, man, I would go to a restaurant to eat that sloppy Joe.
yeah. Oh,
I
and
would
it's
pay for that.
and it's a heaping pile of meat on that bread too, and with their slaw and stuff in it, and it's just it's spiced just right, a little bit of kick, but not hot. It was some good stuff.
Yeah, this is not a kid sloppy Joe.
No.
This is the full-grown adult version.
This is exactly right. So, Gatsby's has a new look on the inside and out. Oh, I forgot to say that they're located at 751 Avalon Road, on the web at diamondbackgrill.com, and on Facebook and Instagram as Diamondback Grill. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Gatsby's new look inside and out. They've been showing it off. Prepare for the reopening of Gatsby's soon. They're one of the last places that have been able to open, mainly because of all the restrictions. And then by the time everything was released, they had already started renovation. So they are about ready to go now, I think.
Good.
May 10th through the 16th is American Craft Beer Week. Yeah, we have
Fantastic.
And we have 8
Get an
breweries,
excuse.
some with satellite locations in this town. So that gives you plenty of choices to buy local, to imbibe some local craft goodness. Well, always do it, but especially the week of the 10th through the 16th. It's just,
Got enough for a different brewery every day.
that's true. You can do a different one every day, that's for sure. May I suggest all of them?
We've tried all of them, and the one that we liked was all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to hand it to the breweries in Winston-Salem. None of them are crap. They're all producing some remarkable beer.
It's true. And then if you take into consideration the things that are in Kernersville and just out in Yadkinville, I think, where one of the vineyards is doing beer as well. And Greensboro's got plenty. High Point's got a couple. So you got choices.
Good options.
Yeah. So Stephanie and I went to Buy Good Coffee last week. Again, one of the black-owned businesses that we recommend that you stop by this week. They roast their own coffee and make fantastic beverages. Even decaf for those of you like me who will bounce off the walls and freak the F out when caffeinated.
Yeah, I can only do caffeine for so long in the day. Generally by the afternoon, I got to switch over to decaf myself.
Yeah, the rule is anyone who gives me caffeine has to babysit me until the effects wear off. That rule is implemented by Stephanie. and
nobody's giving you caffeine since.
yeah, it's just not allowed. And if you're wondering, where is Buy Good Coffee? Well, it's in the old Twin City Hive location. They're Brookstown Avenue in Marshall. That's where Ray and I actually met.
That's exactly right. In their little tiny, super tiny post-size conference room.
Yeah, which is not there at all anymore. That's where the roasting station is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the room has been dismantled and there's no wall there. It's just that nook is now a roasting station. And Terry did that when, after we left, the group left there.
Yeah.
He tore down that room and he did his own roasting station. And when Buy Good took it over, then they continued the tradition. Now, I gave them a business card when we were there. I think it was Friday. And told them that I wanted them to come on the podcast and talk with us about Buy Good Coffee. And they said they were into it, and we'll just have to schedule a time when they can.
It'd be great. I'd love to talk to them. They were such a good spot for coffee with Twin City there. Hated to see that they closed,
Yeah.
So excited to see somebody come back to that.
Yeah. Well, they didn't close; they relocated to
moved to
Gibsonville, and now they're closed. so they're closed now, but that wasn't the immediate thing.
Well, and the other business that kind of spun off from them, Little Bird Chocolates, I think is still going.
Is it?
I think so.
I hope so. I know Joey works or was working for Visit Winston-Salem. So hopefully
I did not know that. So he may have stopped doing the chocolate.
Yeah. I've not seen it, but it would be sad because he made really good chocolate.
It's really good stuff.
Yeah. Next week I need to talk about the country spinner that Stephanie and I are doing.
The what?
I'll tell you.
Country spinner?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you now what that is. We just won't talk about the food yet.
Just like Garth Brooks and, Hank Williams?
That's right. That's right. So which one we're going to listen to? And it fell on Ryan Adams and Caleb Cottle, who is a local guy this time. But no, seriously, what we do is there are 200 countries in the world, and we have all of them on a wheel of names, and we spun the wheel to see what country came up, and it was Mauritius, which is a country off the coast of Madagascar, off the coast of Africa. Yeah, Mauritius, Mauritius. It was discovered by the Portuguese way back when, and then was settled by the French, then handed over to the UK, retaken by the French, and then retaken by the UK, and now they are their own independent country, but they are a commonwealth of the UK. So in what we're doing is we spin this wheel to come up with a country, and then for the next couple of weeks we create food inspired by the country that we pick.
Interesting.
So we made.
Well, who actually populated that particular island? I'm sure Wikipedia didn't tell you this, but the fact that it's right off the coast of Madagascar, it's the people who couldn't stand to hear, you got the Molbat, I got the Molbat. Like, we got to go to another neighborhood. We're tired of all of these little muskrats over here dancing.
Yeah, you gotta move it. But so they had to move it.
Move it.
But yeah, so it's a little bitty island nation, but where it has been occupied by so many cultures, and it's got a heavy Indian and Chinese culture there as well.
It really sounds like a melting pot.
It is. So they borrow a lot of cuisine from many places. So there is a Tunisian recipe that we made. There is cheese fritters. I'll go ahead and tell you that one. And then there's a fish dish coming next week. So
it sounds great. Where can I go to get these dishes? Where will I get a chance to sample?
Next week. Sample. I don't know where you're going to sample them because I just made them. So this is food that we are making ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to make a blog post about it. I filmed myself doing it, but I don't know if I did it right. I've not looked yet to see if I can get that video edited and it looks okay. Then there will be a video on the Man Who Ate the Town, and or at least on a YouTube channel or something.
So we can learn more about the food of this tiny little nation.
Right, and I'm going to try to include, cultural things and history as I can. So it will be done over time. We pick one and spend a few weeks with it to try different things. I will say that both things that we had last night were very, very good. I really enjoyed them, and it seemed like Stephanie did too. Which is,
well, I look forward to learning more.
Well, I look forward for you learning more.
And when are we cooking again? What night am I coming over?
Well, it won't be next Sunday. I thought it would be Sunday, but I'm doing a PA job for the NCAA soccer tournament on Sunday, so I won't be cooking Sunday.
Wow.
It's
Sad
a long
for you.
day. It's from noon to like 11.
Ooh,
So,
you will be tired.
yeah, we'll see. I probably will be, but we'll see. So,
Take a warm beverage for your throat.
oh, yeah. Well, I won't be able to keep it warm the whole night, so I'll probably just water that's room temperature or something. So let's talk burgers, because that's one of the things we do here. Of course,
We love
the
burgers.
Burger Tour 21 is well underway. We're now up to 96, and the 3-a-week rule is out the window.
Tick, 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 tick. Four, 100.
I had only one official burger this week.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I had-
Slack ass, what are you doing?
well,
One burger in a week?
yes. Well, officially. I actually had 3 others unofficially. and reason they're unofficially is because 2 of them are recently opened. They actually opened the same day. And I'm allowing them to, 1, get the grill seasoned correctly, and 2, get their act together. And those aren't necessarily both of them. That could be one for one and one for the other. But and then
Not really fair to judge them in their like first couple of weeks.
right. And I think I'll have to go ahead and tell you, Mr. Barbecue is one of them, and I think they're ready. I'm just waiting till Steven and I can go together. That's one of the ones that he marked that he would want to go with me. So, and we want to save that for when we can eat in instead of having to get it to go. But if I'm in a hurry and I pass by there on the way to my studio, well, I'll just stop, especially if the line isn't in the street. If it looks like it's relatively short, I will stop and grab some food because it's easy and always good. The other one is
Always
Papa
good.
Lee's, and they're still getting their legs. And so,
It's what, 2-3 weeks now that they've only been open?
yeah, it was, they opened the same day as Mr. Barbecue.
They actually have a grill that got a little bit seasoned.
Yeah, but they just got to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's not because mostly all new restaurants go through that unless your name is Yamas. But,
I'll say they're the only ones we've seen that on opening, even on soft opening day, they were like they've been doing it for years.
yeah. The other unofficial burger was Dario, actually.
Oh,
And the
okay.
reason that was unofficial is because the official burger that I had was, and someone had even said they better not see this restaurant on the list. And don't worry, you won't. I can go ahead and give you that much information. This was the saddest burger I've had so far. And I told you I wasn't going to give anything away, and I'm giving this away. This will not be anywhere near the list, at least the top list. I mean, it's on the list. It's Cagney's. It was truly one of the saddest burgers I've ever had. For one, this is the all-American burger, and it had grilled onions and grilled green peppers on it. Who
Not
puts...
an all-American burger.
No, there's nothing all-American about that. That's just whacked out crazy. And I don't get it. So I asked, can instead of the grilled onions, can I get raw onions? And they said yes. And I didn't see anything on the menu about the peppers. Well, the guy, the owner, the manager, whoever, come over and says, I see you want the raw onions. Do you want green peppers too? I'm like, no peppers. He said, okay. He brought the burger to me. raw onions as I asked for, and grilled green peppers. I said no green peppers. He said, oh shoot, and he took it back and brought it back, and it was a lot of bun, not a lot of meat. Mayonnaise was almost non-existent. It was just, and no flavor at all. So I understand
Here's
why
a restaurant that they do fantastic when it comes to, like, for breakfast and
stuff. And they actually have some decent dinner things, but burgers is not one of their things. I mean, it's one of the things on the menu, but it's not one of their specialties or something they excel at. And, I don't usually talk about it, and I'm not talking bad about them. I think they do a great job. Just this burger was very, very not good.
Yeah. So you can still go to Cagney's, folks.
Yeah.
Maybe steer clear of the burger.
And I still will go to Cagney's. I just will not be having another burger there. But that was such a bad.
Technically, they have burgers.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And because I had such a miserable experience with that burger, I said, you know what? Damn it, I'm going to Dario because I've never been there, and there's one not far from Cagney's near my house. So I went there, and let me tell you my problem with Dario. And it's not a problem. It's not a bad thing. The burger that I had was really good. However, there is no indication that there's no cheese on this burger. There is a hamburger over here on the side, and then this list of like specialty burgers, which I figured if they have a hamburger separated, then that means all the rest of them would be cheeseburger. But all the burgers basically are build your own. I did not realize that cheese had to be included on the building your own. So I ordered this, and the menu's just confusing anyway. I get over and I sit down, and I realize, well, I need napkins. There are none there, so I have to go find around all these walls to get to this central napkin station. I go sit back down. I had gotten onion rings with these things, and I'm like, ketchup. And you have to go back to where the napkins were to ketchup into a little cup.
Yep.
And then I go sit down and I unwrap the burger so I can take a picture of it, and nary a slice of cheese anywhere. So I walk up, I said, how much is it for 3 slices of cheese? I did not realize that you had to order that separate. And it come to like 53 cents. And all I had was my debit card. So it cost them probably more to accept that debit card for that cheese than it did
yep.
just to hand me the 3 slices. But whatever. So I had to put the cheese on the burger myself, which means I kind of had to deconstruct it to get it on there. And I was so frustrated because I'd already had to get up from this spot 3 times. And I got it in there and breathed for a second and ate the burger. But I did not take a picture of said burger. And without a picture, if no picture, it didn't happen. So that's why I said right now it's unofficial. Now, I will say the burger was delicious, but I have to go back and try again just to make sure. So that's what I'm
this time you'll order the cheese up front instead of having to make a return trip just for cheese.
Oh, now I know how it works now. So pro tip for anyone going to Dario, if you expect a cheeseburger, you need to indicate that you want a cheeseburger. Cheese must be ordered at time of purchase, or you will get not melted cheese on your burger. So.
I enjoy a good burger, but I enjoy a good cheeseburger much better.
Oh, yeah.
For me, it's always going to have some cheese on it.
Yeah. I do not understand the point of a hamburger. My mother prefers no cheese. She likes cheese, but she prefers no cheese on her hamburger. To which I have just don't understand that. A burger needs cheese, man. It needs it.
Yeah.
It needs it.
It's like saying, you're going to cook a burger with turkey. Yeah, no, you got to have ground beef. It's got to have cheese on it.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper and, ketchup, mayo, pickles, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't mind if
Gotta
it's
be there.
fancy and got all this gourmet stuff on there, but I think a burger should be beef. Should be a burger, not
Yes.
a goat burger, not a sheep burger, not a any of the other stuff, not a plant-based anything. That should never be called a burger. And I understand that a burger truly is the style of the sandwich and not beef, but to me, that's what a burger is. Otherwise, it's a sandwich. You don't see a grilled chicken burger. You don't see a grilled a deep fried crispy chicken burger. You see chicken sandwich. So it's not a burger.
That's not a burger.
All right, rant over, soapbox away. Send me your recommendations for burgers in this town. Burgers. I said burgers with cheese, preferably. Send it to tim@themanowaitstown.com. The food holidays this week are sponsored by Carrabba's Italian Grill, located at 587 South Stratford Road. This is no chain. This is a responsible family of restaurants. Carrabba's and their owner partners take the communities they serve very seriously, and for us, having a franchisee like Daniel Butner certainly does not suck. I was looking at Carrabba's email that I got this morning, and they're talking about their meatballs, and those things are amazing. Lots of meat, lots of sauce, great seasoned flavors, all the things that you want in a meatball. And right now they have a from today until June 13th, actually. If you get $50 in gift cards, you get $10 for yourself. So if you got gift card you're giving to your family, they give you a $10 gift card, which is also good at Outback and Bonefish, if you can find a Bonefish. But you get a $10 bonus for every $50 purchased gift cards. So
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
You gotta think about it. That's a good deal.
yeah, you're
20% back.
Yeah, you're getting rewarded for giving someone a gift.
Yes.
And then the happiness that you'll get just from giving the gift, and the happiness you'll get from eating at Carrabba's. Yeah.
That's substantial right by there, right by yourself. Just
Yep.
go to Carrabba's. It will be magnificent.
Follow Carrabba's on social media and at carrabbas.com. Today is the 26th of April. It is National Pretzel Day.
Cool. Feel kind of twisted up about that.
Yeah, you got you in a bind. All salty, too. In 1856, on the 26th, Eben Horsford patents a process to manufacture calcium acid phosphate, a key ingredient in his Horsford's bread preparation, later renamed Rumford baking powder.
Okay. I was like, what in the world are you talking about?
Yeah, baking powder.
Baking powder.
Yep. In
It's remarkable what you can do with that.
I used it in my fritters yesterday, actually.
We did some chicken wings this weekend. And all we did was just take the basic wing and cut it in a little baking powder and stick it in the oven. Wow. Turned out really well.
Nice.
Now we want to do it again where we put a little more seasoning in there because the recipe said just put the baking powder. But yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Season. 1877, on the 26th, Minnesota held a state day of prayer to plead for an end to a 4-year plague of Rocky Mountain locusts. In southwestern Minnesota, locusts had been eating crops, trees, tobacco, fence posts, leather, dead animals, sheep's wool, everything but the mortgage, they say. 2 days later, a snowstorm moved through and the locusts were never seen again. No one knows what caused the locust plague, nor why the Rocky Mountain locust became extinct after the plague. So, answered prayers, I guess. In 1931, on the 26th, the Carnation Contented Hour premiered on the NBC Regional West Coast Network, sponsored by Carnation Milk from Contented Cows. It went national on January the 4th, 1932. Again, at a time when like 9 people had TVs. So it's going national.
One big audience.
Yeah, I don't know what going national meant, but in 1986, on this day, the Chernobyl nuclear plant in Ukraine exploded. It's the worst nuclear disaster in history. In addition to the human toll, agriculture and livestock were contaminated by radiation in large areas of Europe for years to come. And the worst part of it, I think, is that the Ukrainian government failed to tell anybody that it happened. And they weren't going to say anything until people in Sweden started getting readouts on their Geiger counters about how much radiation was in the air. And they're like, oh, we might need to say something. So probably 100,000 people over the years have died from radiation poisoning from that. Not to mention the agriculture and livestock and all that stuff. So I think they're still feeling the effects now, 35 years later?
Yeah. I've seen a couple of specials advertised where they haven't actually gone back and documented what was going on in the Chernobyl area now. You know, they tried to build this giant concrete structure to contain everything. Yeah, like that's going to do a good job.
Yeah. And I believe you can actually schedule tours, but I think they're very short. I don't think you want to be around it long.
We've got this 3-foot thick lead suit you need to wear here. Put this on. We know you can't move very much, so we're going to haul you with a forklift and take you through the debris.
Yes. I don't know how I feel about that if I'd want to do it. And, you know, Kiev is the capital of Ukraine, and it's right outside Kiev. So if I was going to Ukraine, I would want to go to Kiev, but I don't know that I want to go to the plant.
Yeah. There's some things I don't need to see. That'd be one of them.
If I knew that there was no chance that I would be harmed, I would want to see it. But there's no way of ensuring that. So I would pass.
Yeah. I mean, we can't even ensure that you can get in your car and drive downtown without putting yourself at risk.
Right. On the 26th in 2005, a herd of buffalo escaped from a farm and wandered around a Baltimore, Maryland suburb, disrupting traffic and shutting down several major highways. Police eventually herded them onto a nearby tennis court. Love 30.
You know, we had that same kind of thing happen in Winston-Salem years and years and years ago, where you come down Cloverdale Hill, where there used to be that really bad curve around Baptist Hospital before they redid that.
Yep.
A semi carrying cattle overturned around that corner, and the cows ended up getting out of the vehicle and were literally wandering around in Ardmore.
Nice. Yeah.
It's been a while since that's happened, but yeah, I had some friends who lived here at the time and remembered that and were telling me about it.
The cows got out to stretch their legs. Let's see what we can get into. Hey, this is a nice neighborhood. Let's go check it out.
Hey, look, they've got some really nice flowers in their front yard.
So a year later, on the 26th, Chicago banned the sale of foie gras, but that was repealed 2 years later because stop being stupid. Yes, I understand that it's not necessarily an ethical thing for the growers of the goose, if that's what they're using, to fatten them up like that. I get that. But they're going to do it whether you say they should or not. So, let somebody make some money, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm conflicted with it. I don't want to. Well, again, I've always said, I don't care how that animal dies. I'm sorry if that's insensitive. I just want to eat it. It's not they were put here for us to enjoy. They were not put here for us to console them and pet them and tell them it's all going to be okay. No, I'm going to eat you. I'm going to enjoy you. Thank you. Good night. Yeah. 2012 on the 26th, I've already said that one. Indonesia suspends some U.S. beef imports following the discovery of an American dairy cow in California infected with mad cow disease. One cow.
One.
And we're suspending all these beef imports.
Yeah.
Okay.
Millions of dollars worth of beef. One cow.
Yeah. On the 27th, it's National Prime Rib Day. And I'm all for that. I love prime rib, especially with a really good horseradish sauce and an au jus of some sort.
The au jus is nice. Yeah, you got to have a little bit of that.
Yeah, but I prefer as much as the meat as possible without all the other stuff. But just a little bit goes a long way on those.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're going to make a prime rib sandwich out of it, you got to have a little au jus.
Yeah, if you're going to waste prime rib on a sandwich, then shame on you. That's why they make roast
it if I'm eating it.
That's why they make, because you're diluting the flavor with a bunch of crap like bread. So just have a roast beef sandwich if you want a sandwich. Come on, man. On the 27th in 1773, the British Parliament passed the Tea Act, one of the events that led to the American Revolution. In 1871, on the 27th, the American Museum of Natural History in New York City was opened to the public. In 1965, R.C. Duncan was granted a patent for Pampers disposable diapers, and landfills everywhere have not been the same since. It's kind of shitty, man. But the
grown.
In 2020, coronavirus update: France, Italy, and Spain prepare to slowly loosen coronavirus restrictions. Loss of taste was added to possible symptoms of coronavirus. As state economies began to slowly reopen, no one knows what happens next. Duh.
Still don't know what happens next.
Yeah, right. On the 28th, it's National Blueberry Pie Day. Yes, it is. On the 28th, in 1789, the most famous mutiny in history took place on the English ship Bounty against Captain William Bligh, or James Mason, as I would call him. The ship was returning. What do you mean you're going to mutinize on my ship? The ship was returning from Tahiti to bring back breadfruit trees. Whatever breadfruit trees are.
I don't know that I've ever had breadfruit. I think I've seen it, but I don't know that I've ever had it.
I don't know. In 1796, American Cookery by Amelia Simmons is published in Hartford. It is the first cookbook written by an American. Well, first published cookbook. I'm sure Americans had written cookbooks for themselves. This is one of the classic cookbooks that can be found at the Food Reference website, which is where we get our information from. In 1992, on the 28th, the USDA unveiled its new food pyramid diet. I don't fall for those pyramid schemes.
And, oddly enough, what the FDA says is an ideal American diet is remarkably similar to the diet that hog farmers use when they're trying to fatten up their pigs.
Right on. Also, that food pyramid is nowhere near what most dietitians would recommend. Ask Krista Norton how that food pyramid goes. 2005, it's the loaded burrito scare In Clovis, New Mexico, police were called to a middle school when someone saw what appeared to be a weapon being carried in by a student. Police did not find any weapon, but finally an 8th grader realized that what someone had seen was his extra credit commercial advertising project, a 30-inch long steak burrito wrapped in tin foil and a t-shirt.
And they thought it was a gun.
Yes. I could see that, it wrapped in a t-shirt and it's shiny. I could see where you'd think that.
Might be suspicious.
Yeah.
But before you open your mouth and start accusing some kid of bringing a rifle to school, go talk to him. Sorry, I'm off my soapbox.
In 2020, several states allowing limited business reopenings this week, while other states and cities extend stay-at-home orders. Temporary closing of numerous meat processing plants raises concern over temporary meat shortages, which we did see. We still are somewhat seeing. Hotels work at developing elevated cleaning protocols, and national average gasoline price is $1.75.
That was so nice.
I wish it would go back to that.
No kidding.
On the 29th, it's National Shrimp Scampi Day. Did I say Shrimp Scampi Day?
You said scrimp. I was going to be like, dude.
No. The Shack, National Shrimp Scampi Day.
Somebody's been to the Shack maybe too many times recently.
I've not been in a
I
while.
can't say shrimp anymore. I keep saying scrimp.
Yeah, it's been about a year since I've been here, I think. And no, that's not true. It's been about 6 months. In 1856, on the 29th, a shipment of 33 camels arrived at the Texas port of Indianola. They had been purchased on the North African coast for the U.S. Army to use in the deserts of the southwest United States. And in 2020, Belgium urges restaurants to eat more chips or fries, frites probably, as coronavirus create massive potato surplus. Vilnius, Lithuania, to become a large outdoor cafe, as restaurants, cafes, and bars will be allowed to set up outdoor tables in city plazas, squares, and streets to keep them afloat during the coronavirus quarantine. Something that we just recently started doing.
Actually, it makes sense what we're doing now with downtown, closing off the streets and letting folks sit out. It's like, actually, this is a cool idea. Why didn't we do this before?
Well, they kind of did, but not to this extent. And of course, it was canceled this week because of the rain. On the 30th, it's National Arbor Day. It's also Oatmeal Cookie Day. Go to Bake Just So to get that. It's National Raisin Day. So, hey, you can get an oatmeal raisin cookie, I'm sure, over there at Bake Just So. They do not pay me to say that. I'm just saying that I like it, and I think you could get it. On the 30th, in 1803, the Louisiana Purchase Treaty was signed in Paris. The formal transfer of ownership from France to the United States, as I mentioned last month, took place on the 10th of March, the year after, in 1804. 101 years later, the Louisiana Purchase Exposition opened in St. Louis, which was the St. Louis World Fair. And it was at that fair the ice cream cone was supposedly have been invented. The hot dog and iced tea were also popularized at the fair.
Interesting.
In 1939, the 1939 New York World's Fair opened. It was deemed Dawn of a New Day and the World of Tomorrow. That's a great, big, wonderful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day. Okay. In 19...
You would know that song.
I would, yes. I love that song. In 1952, on the 30th, Mr. Potato Head is introduced to the world. Mr. Potato Head is also the first toy to be advertised on network television.
Cool. And now we have to go and change him.
I don't think we're changing him as much as we're offering options. Because it's now Potato Head, and you can have Mr. or Mrs. all in one. think it's actual sales genius, really. You're the best of both worlds. If you buy the same thing for a boy or a girl.
There you go. Yep.
In 1988, Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania created a new world record 4.55 mile long banana split. It is 33,000 bananas, 2,500 gallons of ice cream, 600 pounds of chopped nuts, and 450 gallons of topping. Again, I want to know, how in the wide world of sports did you get a 4.55 mile long banana split? What constitutes it being part of the same banana split? There is not a banana that big. I know there's 33,000 of them. So did they have to line up, front to back, front to back, front to back over that time? Or what? I don't get it. What? Someone please tell me how you come up with a 4.55 mile long banana split. I await the answer. Eagerly await the answer.
Let me know where my spot in that 4.5 miles is.
Yes.
I'll bring my spoon.
End of the month 2020, President Trump orders meat and poultry processing plants to remain open. Workers are concerned because many are contracting coronavirus. Budget major brand light beers show a big increase in retail sales. Pricier craft beers, not so much. I would just stop drinking if I had to drink the crappy light beer.
Or that swill just isn't worth drinking.
That's true. So very true. All right. The 1st of May is National Herb Day, which is always the first Saturday in May. It's also National American Homebrewers Association Big Brew Day, Homebrew Day, also first Saturday in May. It is.
And by Herb Day, you mean like rosemary and basil and thyme.
Right, yeah, not pot. Come in, take my herb. Yeah, that was April 20th. It's May Day, which is an ancient holiday that was, bastardized by Christians. No offense to Christians, I'm just saying that's what it was. It came from a long pagan tradition or Roman tradition that was changed to do whatever they needed to do. Where was I? Oh, national. Okay, here you go. It's Mother Goose Day. And National Chocolate Parfait Day. Which I think.
Not to be confused, like the two of them actually have anything to do with each other.
Right, yeah.
You do not have to listen to Mother Goose or read Mother Goose to eat a chocolate parfait.
That's true. I guess it's kind of like a mousse or something, maybe, whipped with nuts and things. Yeah. That's what a parfait is, right, with nuts. 1683, supposedly on the first, a patent for a system of extracting salt from seawater was granted in England.
Nice.
In 1759, on the first, Josiah Wedgwood founded the Wedgwood Pottery that transformed the rough pottery of the time into the smooth, durable crockery that we know today. In 1841, on the first, John Bartleson and John Bidwell led the first wagon train to California on April 4th. On 1886, Angelo Del Monte and Papa Marianetti opened Ristorante Fior d'Italia, America's oldest Italian restaurant in the heart of San Francisco's North Beach. Okay, I've lost Ray, so I'm going to finish up by myself. The internet had a little problem and he couldn't wait, so I'm going to continue here. In 1899, on the first, in Germany, Bayer introduced aspirin in powder form. In 1924, the first iodized table salt in the United States went on sale in grocery stores in Michigan. Adequate intake of iodine helps prevent goiter, which is swelling of the thyroid gland. In 1927, Imperial Airways became the first British airline to serve hot meals. 1931, the Empire State Building opened. It opened on the site of the original Waldorf Astoria Hotel. In 1941, General Mills introduced Cheerios. The name was changed to Cheerios in 1945. In 1982, a record-setting 8,000-foot-long banana split was created in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania. That was, again, 6 years later, 1 day minus, where they did the 4.5-mile banana split. This is crazy. I still want to know how. How did you do it? 2001, Hindus in Seattle filed suit against McDonald's restaurant chain for not disclosing the use of beef flavoring in its French fries. In 2005, a 9-foot, 640-pound freshwater catfish was caught by fishermen in northern Thailand on the Mekong River. According to many, this is the largest freshwater fish ever caught. In 2020, another 3.8 million Americans filed for unemployment this week, bringing a total to 30 million for the last 6 weeks. The University City of Lund in Sweden spread chicken manure in its Central Park to discourage residents from gathering in the park for traditional April 30th celebrations. Little League Baseball canceled its World Series. Finally, the 2nd of May, World Tuna Day, National Truffles Day, Lemonade Day, and that is to empower today's youth to become tomorrow's entrepreneurs through helping them start, own, and operate their very own business. A lemonade stand. The date may vary by location. And check with your local ordinances. You may have to have some kind of permit because people are stupid and will call you out on it. In 1670, on the 2nd, King Charles II of England granted a permanent charter to the Hudson's Bay Company, which gave the company a trading monopoly and effective control over a vast region surrounding North America's Hudson Bay. In 1854, Hugh Rock, not Huge Rock, but Hugh Rock of Boston, received the first U.S. design patent for a hairbrush. In 1878, the U.S. stopped minting the 20-cent coin. Also on the same day at 7 a.m., the Washburn A flour mill in Minneapolis exploded, sending the roof 500 feet in the air. 18 workers were killed and 7 other flour mills were also destroyed. I think it was because they were ticked off that the 20-cent coin was no longer going to be minted that day. In 1880, the SS Columbia became the first U.S. steamboat to successfully employ electric lighting installed in its passenger rooms and main salons. In 1885, on the 2nd, Good Housekeeping magazine began publication. Founded by Clark W. Bryan, the magazine was purchased by Hearst in 1911. In 1969, on the 2nd, the QE-2, the Queen Elizabeth II, British luxury ocean liner owned by the Cunard Line, left on her maiden voyage to New York. In 1974, filming for Jaws began at Martha's Vineyard. In 2020, half of the United States began opening up while some states extended the lockdowns. Some cities were suing state governments over lockdowns. Face masks now mandatory on major U.S. airlines. Whole Food markets will provide face masks to customers who don't have their own. That's your food holidays and history for this week. Special thanks to James Zuler at foodreference.com for making us chuckle, roll our eyes, and something to look through while I was waiting on the internet to come back. Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables Podcast Network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, the Beer Dads, Fan Interference, Beeswax, File, and more, Wheeler's Dog, and Asylum Tales from the Devereaux Diaries podcast. You can find all these podcasts and their latest episodes on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. You'll also find social media links to each one there as well. This is a reminder to all the listeners, and it's just good practice, not just for now, but for always. Wash your damn hands. Wash with water, warm water, and soap. Wash with that soap for 20 seconds or more. Don't know how long 20 seconds is? This is about 20 seconds. So that song, School's Out, from the album School's Out, which didn't come out for another couple of weeks, but the song, School's Out, was released as a single 49 years ago today. 49 years ago today. Well, keep an eye on the blog and this podcast to find out more about food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send an email to Tim or Leah or Ray. Leah is still part of the show. She's just finishing up some school projects. All those at themanwhoatethetown.com. You can also contact us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, Instant Messengers. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are manwho8thetown. On Instagram, we are manwhoatethetown. And now we invite you to call and leave a voicemail for the podcast, especially any podcast on the TLD network. You can call 336-422-6862, 336-422-NUM. Leave a voicemail and we'll play it on the podcast. Again, 336-422-NUM, 6862. Well, my name is Ray, and my name's not Ray. My name is Tim, and for Ray, we're closing the recipe box. Till next time, thank you for listening. Thank you for reading, all the other stuff you're doing. Bon appetit. Yamas. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.